Today is Monday, July 1st, and my July item of the month has just arrived. Let's check it out. Your monthly subscription is here. Yay! You acquire an item, packaged Roman candelabra. Okay, like a Roman candle, but a candelabra. Interesting. All right. Packaged Roman candelabra. This isn't your grandfather's candelabra. Actually, wait. According to my notes, this is your grandfather's candelabra. He doesn't need it anymore because of the candelabra accident that left him blind. Open it to get a Roman candelabra. Type usable, cannot be discarded, free pull from Hanks. That's ominous. Let's use it. You rip into the packaging, revealing your very own Roman candelabra. You acquire an item, Roman candelabra. This style of candelabra makes nighttime trips to your estate's bathroom a much more exciting affair. Type, offhand item, cannot be traded or discarded. Maximum hit points. It's a lot of X's. Mana points, muscle, mysticality, moxie, and prismatic damage. I mean, I'm a fan of prismatic damage and stats and more hit points and mana points, but why are they X's? Do I want to have trips to the bathroom be more exciting? I mean, let's try it out. So I'm just gonna look at it one more time to see if the X's, oh, they're still there. All right, so I'm gonna unequip it. My hit points are 1,207 and my mana points are 2,404. I'm going to equip it. And my mana points are 1,280 and mana points are 2,478. So the hit points went up by 73 and the mana points went up by, oh, this is a math test. Okay, so 2404 to 2478. So 74. I mean, that's not bad. And then my muscle is at 657. My mysticality is at 1,419. And my moxie is at 930. And my muscle went down by 50. My moxie went down by 20. And my mysticality went down by 20 also. 657 to... Oh, no, it's 20. It's 20 across the board for my stats. For muscle, mysticality, and moxie. What was the other thing it improves? Damage. Well, with my June Cleaver equipped, that's not... Let's try it out. Okay. See if we have any new skills. Ooh, blow the purple candle, green candle, blue candle, yellow candle, red candle. So I've got 5 different candle colors I can use now. Let's pledge allegiance first. From last July's item of the month. Purple, green, blue, yellow, and red. Let's start at the bottom. Blow the red candle. Ooh. You launch all the red Roman candles at your opponents. The Roman candles explode in a ball of raging fire for 408 damage. It's quite an experience. But did it use an adventure? I think it did. Yeah, I believe that did use an adventure. Now I have everything looks red. I can't remember offhand what the other everything looks red generators are. But it did a lot of fire damage. That's interesting. Oh, is it just going to be large amounts of elemental damage for the different colors? Okay, I'm just looking at all the after combat messages. Don't see anything else that looks related. Okay, so everything looks red effect is active, so the red candle is no longer available. But I still have the 4 other candles. Let's try purple. You cause all the purple candles on your Roman candelabra to explode. The blast of purple light partially blinds you and makes a duplicate of the monster. Everything looks purple. Duration 49 adventures. Duplicate of the monster. There's no duplicate here like you would get with, well, the skill duplicate. And let me just check my color wheel, see what I've got going. Everything looks purple is at 50, not 49 like it said. That's interesting. And what does making a duplicate mean? Ah, okay. A belligerent athlete in a letterman's jacket gets in between you and whatever you were hoping to accomplish at this party. You get to jump on him. Although I actually don't know if that's the normal message or not. So I can't tell. But jock and then a jock after blowing the purple candle. Could be coincidence, could be meaningful. I'm not sure. Okay, let's do blow the yellow candle. Yep, you blow all the yellow Roman candles on your candelabra. They launch towards your opponent and explode, leaving nothing but a pile of all his stuff. You acquire an effect, everything looks yellow. Duration 74 adventures. Everything looks yellow for 74 adventures. I want to say that's better than the Spit Jurassic Acid. I want to say that one's 100 adventures. But now I'm going to have to check. I'm not sure. Did it indeed leave a pile of all his stuff? Yep. That looks like a pile of all his stuff. Just going to take a quick side trip and see if there's any non-combat skills that are added that I notice. No, I don't notice any new non-combat skills. It's just those combat ones, but the combat ones are interesting. Ah, okay. It's a jock again, and it's a belligerent athlete message. To left, blow the green candle. Everything looks green. 29 adventures. You explode all the green candles on your Roman candelabra. You sneak away during the hazy green mayhem that follows. Okay, so that looks like a free run. And everything looks yellow was something that gives you... Or wait, is it a free run if it's decrementing? It's hard to tell on some free fights, but that's okay. We'll try it again later on some adventure taking fights. And everything looks yellow gave us all the items from the monster, and then everything looks green. Now see, I've already forgotten what everything looks green did. Lots of colors. Blow the blue candle. Last one. Is the last one? Yeah, last one. Okay. You blow all the blue candles on your Roman candelabra. There's an explosion of all the blues you can think of. Navy, royal, dark, cyan, cadet, sky, and so on. Your foe is distracted, cataloging all the blues as you breathe in the mystical smoke. You acquire an effect. Everything looks blue. Duration 19 adventures. You gain 450 mojo points. I mean, that's nice. That's useful. That's a chunk of points right there. So that's noticeable. Your opponent finally stops cataloging shades of blue, stun resisted, attacks you anyway. You lose 17 hit points. Okay, so everything looks blue for 19. So I've run out of candles. What happens now? You cross your eyes so that you see multiple copies of your enemy, and when you uncross them, it doesn't go back to normal. So yes, this is what happens when you have the duplicate skill from the source terminal. You can multiply the monster by 2 and die a horrible death because, once again, I was not paying attention to my hit points. So what color was it that duplicated things? Darn it. So just for fun, I'm going to try removing the everything looks. Seeing colors is a state of mind, not something that can be washed away with simple eye drops. But of course I'm going to try it on all the other colors too, because come on. Oh, that effect can't be removed. That's just not as exciting. Green gets red, everything looks blue. Okay, so that's interesting. The other colors besides purple have existed in previous items of the month. So purple being the new one says that effect can't be removed, which fine. That makes sense. Alright, so let's take a pause and see if the Roman candelabra's message... Oh, that's weird. Didn't it have prismatic damage a second ago? Oh, it's using Roman numerals. Oh my goodness, it was plus 20 earlier when it said plus XX. And now I bet you it's going to be plus 30. And the muscle, mysticality, and moxie are going to be plus 25. Or sorry, 15? Man, I'm rusty on my Roman numerals. Plus 15, I think. Well, let's check that. Okay, so hypothesis is that hit points and mana points are going to be 30 each. So I'm currently at 1,236 and 2,462. Unequipped, no, it's a lot more than that. Because now I'm at 1,127 and 2,351. 1,236 to 1,127. So that's 119, is that right? No, 109. It's 109 hit points and 111 mana points, which in no way corresponds to XXX. Yeah, no. Don't understand. Something is weird. And the prismatic damage went away. Why? I mean, once again, not that I can tell when I've got the June Cleaver equipped, but it's just not even there anymore. Do you only get it? Oh, do you only get the do you only get the elemental damage from having the offhand so long as the color effect is not active? So that's going to be my new hypothesis, because right now I have all of the color effects active. So now I'll have to have 4 more adventures in order to get rid of everything looks blue. So let's try that. Let's try that and see what happens. So right now I have all the colors except for blue. So what is my candelabra going to say? Yeah, there we are. Plus X cold damage. Okay, alright. So when you have the color effect active, you don't get the corresponding elemental damage. But if you don't have any of the color effects active, then you get elemental damage to match those colors. Interesting. It's really interesting. I just wish I understood why the Roman numerals... I mean, unless I'm totally mistaken, I thought that XXX meant 30. But that's not the actual number of hit points that this equipment seems to add. So unless I had a percentage modifier on there, maybe. Okay, so now that I got rid of everything looks blue, I have cold damage. But of course, the next thing I'm going to do is cast the blue color because I already can't remember what it was supposed to do. Alright, so blow the blue candle. It looks blue. That's right, I gain mojo points and they're stunned. Okay, so blue is mojo points. Am I going to remember that? Maybe. Maybe I will remember that. Okay, so everything looks red. I only have 5 adventures. Everything looks green. I have 6. Everything looks blue. I'm at 16. Purple, 26. And yellow, 51. Okay, so everything looks red has gone away. I should have the red candle available. Let's use it. Blow the red candle. So it says I have everything looks red, duration 29 adventures. Alright, so now I have active effects. I have blue, purple, red, and yellow, which means I should have green available in my next one. So red just does a lot of hot damage, so far as I can tell. And blue gives you mojo points. Okay, I'm currently at 263 adventures. I'm going to blow the green candle, and I am still at 263 adventures. You explode all the green candles on your Roman candelabra. You sneak away during the hazy green mayhem that follows. Okay, so indeed, the green candle is a free runaway. So now, of course, I want to compare it to the spring shoes. So the next time green becomes available, right now I have blue, purple, red, green, and yellow all active. Okay, so everything looks purple has gone away, which means I'm able to cast the purple skill again. I'm trying to remember if purple was the duplicate. And just in case it was, I'm going to go fight not goblin embezzler to see what happens. Okay, so I have below the purple candle and a not goblin embezzler. What happens? Because all the purple candles on your Roman candelabra to explode, the blast of purple light partially blinds you and makes a duplicate of the monster. Everything looks purple, duration 49 adventures. Okay, so in theory, there should be a duplicate somewhere of a not goblin embezzler, and that's a better test because not goblin embezzlers are not encountered naturally. You have to have the lucky effect or, you know, some other trick. So let's see if I get a not goblin embezzler again. Aha! Okay, so I just tried to go to the map, and do you know what happened? A not goblin embezzler showed up. Interesting. So I really did duplicate it. But it duplicated it in the way that the Pocket Professor's lecture on relativity does, in the sense that you're not able to do any other action in between. You just get that next monster, or sorry, the duplicated monster immediately. Do not pass go. So that's interesting. That's also different than the Patriotic Eagle's ability to copy monsters in a zone, because there also you can leave and change your equipment, for example, before you actually fight the monster that you copied, and here you can't. You have to fight it right away. So I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you go into it knowing that's what you're going to do, but it could be inconvenient if you're in a situation where you need to shake up your equipment before you fight the copy. So that's interesting. Now can I leave? Now I can leave. Okay, so it made exactly one copy, and the cooldown period on Everything Looks Purple was 50 adventures, so every 50 adventures you can copy something. For example, a Knobgoblin Embezzler. Oh man, these cooldowns are going to be such a pain to keep track of. I already feel bad that I don't use my free runaways from the spring shoes often enough. And now this is just another thing to feel bad. Or my free kills from the everfull dart holster. And now this is another thing to try and keep track of. Oh my. This is the year of color cooldowns. Oh, not only that, but I'm going to have to decide whether I want to use the free kill from the everfull darts. Can't remember what color that is, versus whatever color conflict the Roman candelabra has. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so I've got red, I've got green, I've got blue, I've got yellow, and purple. Red candle just hits for a lot of hot damage. I keep forgetting that. Okay, so right now I have yellow, red, and purple active. Okay, so the green effect is no longer active, and blue is no longer active. I still have red, purple, and yellow active. Yeah, okay, so the spring away, so I'm at 235 adventures. I'm still at 235 adventures, and I have Everything Looks Green. Okay, so all of my turns of Everything Looks Yellow are gone, so I am going to spit Jurassic Acid to see how many turns I get of the effect. Everything Looks Yellow, 99 adventures. Okay, so the yellow candle seems to be better because the Everything Looks Yellow, unless I'm totally mistaken, only lasted 75 adventures, whereas for the Jurassic Parka, it lasts 100. Okay, so now I have red, green, purple, and yellow active. The only one I haven't used again is the blue because there just didn't seem to be much point. I'm doing alright on mana points, which, to be fair, is usually more of a struggle in run than it is in aftercore, where I am right now. So I could see it being much more useful there. And I can't think of anything offhand that competes with the Everything Looks Blue in standard. Okay, so I just lost the effect Everything Looks Red, and I am going to try the everfull dart bullseye to see if that also gives the effect Everything Looks Red, because I just can't remember. It sure does. Everything looks red for 30 adventures. I can't remember how long it was on the other one. But if I remember correctly, everything looks red on the Roman candelabra. It was not a free fight. And on the everfull darts, it is. So many details to figure out. So first impressions of the Roman candelabra. This is a really interesting item of the month, and I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with it. I am really confused by the Roman numerals on the hit points, mana points, muscle, mysticality, and moxie. I don't know how they increase, because I see now that hit points is at L, but also these numbers don't seem to correspond to anything I notice in terms of changing the hit points and mana points when I unequip and equip the candelabra. So I'm not sure about that, but it's interesting. I'll have to see what folks have figured out. I like the mechanic that it adds elemental damage, but only if you don't have the color effect active. That's kind of fun and forces you to juggle what you need at the time, whether you need more elemental damage, right? Because it can do prismatic damage, which is really, really nice, and I'm going to need that when the June Cleaver rotates out of standard. That's going to be hugely helpful, but knowing that I can only have that prismatic damage if I don't have any of the color effects active, that's going to require some interesting routing in run to get that prismatic damage when you need it, while still using those color effects where possible. The color effects are super fiddly. I know there's only 5 of them, but I feel like I've already used and forgotten several of these colors to try and remember what they do. And it doesn't help that there are other items of the month in standard that also use some of these colors. It's always, always, always nice to have another source of yellow rays, especially in standard, because there are times when you just need that drop. You can't mess around. Everything looks blue. Seems like it'll be really useful for mana regeneration in run, assuming I read that all correctly, because that's something that's always an issue. What are my other colors? Everything looks red. Didn't seem to be a free kill on the Roman candelabra, whereas on the everfull dart holster, the bullseye gives you everything looks red as well, but is a free kill. Everything looks green for the free runaway is nice. Right? I also have my spring shoes, but the Roman candelabra does it too. And what's my last color? Purple. That's right. I really like that everything looks purple. That's the new one. That's the color they haven't used before. And creating a duplicate, even if it is something that you have to use right away, is pretty cool. That's something that for sure you can use for item and meat farming, but also you can use in run, wherever you need a copy of something. The downside of it, of course, is that you only get one copy and you have to use it immediately. I'll have to think about where I would use that. That's a fun new mechanic. That's something that I'm going to enjoy, and you can make a copy once every 50 adventures. So that's pretty neat. I mean, this is a great item of the month. Don't get me wrong, but the fiddliness of it is kind of giving me pause. Like, do I want to try and figure out how to make the best use of it? I mean, I will, but it's going to take some time. And I'm definitely going to have to do some reading or create a cheat sheet for myself to try and remember what all of its attributes are. And it's going to take a number of ascensions before I'm really going to be able to use this effectively in run. But this is a powerful little Swiss Army knife, right? It does a little bit of everything. And I can always use more of that in run. I'm really liking it. It's just going to take a bit of a learning curve. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.